Well, hello, everybody. I'm Mark Comfort, and today we are talking about one of the most fun experiences most people will ever have on a river cruise, and that's a Christmas Markets river cruise. Mimi and I have done, oh gosh, three of them, I think, two or three anyway, and holy cow, are they fun. They are just so much fun. And we've got the dynamic duo, the hostesses with the mostesses. Andrea Redding, say hi, Andrea.
Hello.
You're at Nicole Busenbark's desk, so let's all not. This is Andrea Redding, and Lynnette Talge, the group coordinator for this group and for all of our groups, is on the phone right now. She'll be with Andrea here in just a minute, so we'll go over all of these options. But one of the things I love about river cruising is, well, there's several things, but not only is it the most unique experience, so totally different than what you see in the United States around Christmas time. And Europe has embraced this kind of, they call it the markets, the Christmas markets, for hundreds and hundreds of years. And man, they do it right. And they don't let cold weather bother them at all over there. And I think half of that's because they fill themselves with antifreeze, which they call glühwein over there. Andrea, have you ever had any glühwein, hot molded iced wine?
You know, I have not. I did the Rudenstein coffee when we were in Rudenstein. That was phenomenal and very tasty.
Andrea, by the way, we're going to share with everybody. Look at this here. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to probably get out of here. I don't want to do this without my phone, without the video on. Okay, Andrea, I'm going to get out, but I'm going to leave you on, and we'll see if I can get this going.
Okay.
Can't. Let's see. Let's try this again. Andrea, ask Nicole if she'll come back here and give me a little technological support.
Hey, Mark, click on the image of the Christmas markets. Click on it. Okay, and now click your arrow.
Voila. God, you're brilliant, Nicole. You're so brilliant.
Thank you, Nicole.
I'm glad we have a group of people that are so wise around here. I do groups well. I do technology poorly. Okay, so here is Andrea Redding, and Andrea, again, as what we call a vacation counselor or advisor. She has been with us 30 years. Andrea, can you believe you've been with us 30 years?
No, it just feels like last week I just started. I mean, 30 years has flown by so fast.
Yeah, Andrea, what, 30 years of marriage and 3 kids?
A dog and 3 cats, yep.
Yeah, that's all part of it. And Lynnette Talge has been with us 12 years. Like I say, Lynnette handles all of these groups that we do. So she is very, very, she's exceptionally good with group business. And that's what this is. And by the way, let me step back a step. We talked 2 years in advance with our team and Andrea about hosted groups. And Andrea and Lynnette wanted to do Christmas markets because they are so much fun. And they've heard, like Kim North, one of our vacation counselors or advisors, has been on 3 of these Christmas markets, and she just absolutely loves them. Most all of our staff have been on them. Deb Mitchell, just really about everybody, honestly, now I think about it. And they are so much fun. They are so much fun. They are also a great value. So keep in mind the fact that, gosh, compared to going in late spring or summer or early fall, the prices are 30 to sometimes 50% less. And Andrea, didn't you tell me you looked at this already, this December 5th through the 12th of this year, 2023? Isn't this ship basically all sold out right now?
Yeah, the only space, if you were calling Alma directly, or if we were going to call, was a few ocean view cabins. And our pricing is cheaper. Plus, we have gratuities included with our price. And we still have about 9 rooms left with windows, French balconies, and then some larger suites. So
yeah, what I want everybody to know, yeah, this is what we do, and this is why we do this for you. We do what's called partial charters. We negotiate in this case with AmaWaterways. We love AmaWaterways. Especially for our groups. We're one of their largest accounts in the world, and you may or may not have ever heard of AmaWaterways. We know them. We know how they compare to Viking and Avalon and Uniworld and Talk, and they just do an outstanding job. Matter of fact, they have the highest satisfaction rating in the industry. I have been on this. I'm a Cherto ship, so I like it a lot. But going back to the pricing, so about a year ago, maybe 11 months ago, whatever, we held this group and we do what we call partial charters, where we actually, in essence, buy and guarantee AmaWaterways that we're going to sell so many cabins from them. And then they give us an exceptionally good rate to offer to you. And that's why, we've got space. We're the only people in the country that has space on this ship on this date. And it's on the Rhine River. And the Rhine River is the #1 river that people cruise on in the whole world, followed closely by the Danube River. And you'll see in a minute, I'll show you the map, but we start out in Basel, Switzerland, and we can do a pre-package for you at Lake Lucerne or Zurich beforehand and start in Basel and go all the way up to Amsterdam. The other thing we love about AmaWaterways is they divide the ships into small groups, so you have a chance to go to see whatever it is you want to see. There's a lot of times 6 to 8 different tours in a day. And then usually those Christmas markets are at night. Not always, but usually they're in the night. Almost always we'll go to a Christmas market in the night, but you can, since these markets are everywhere, you'll have a chance to go to markets during the day too, if shopping or just the fun of these markets is what you're looking for. But we can go over all this. You know, I'm into history, so I love to go see the history in these areas, because again, these parts of the world are incredibly historic. These parts of the world, honestly, are incredibly scenic. Wait till we show you some of these pictures. And then the other thing that almost everybody's loving right now is the cultural experience. And the Christmas markets are very, very cultural. It's something that, like I say, outside of the 2 pandemic winters, they've done this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. AmaWaterways is very much into wellness, so they'll have all sorts of wellness opportunities like yoga and stretching, line dancing, things like that they do on board the ship. The food, and Andrea, let me ask if you agree with this. I know, Andrea, how many river cruises have you been on, just off the top of your head?
Four, I think, and this would be my 5th one. And I've done the Danube Christmas Market, which I absolutely loved, and it was spectacular. So that's why I want to do this one too.
Do you agree? I mean, this picture, you look at this picture with those lamb chops and that beautiful wine, which wine is the local wines and beers they serve, as well as local delicacies from the area you're in. But don't you think the culinary part of this experience is just exceptionally good with Ama?
I do. The food is phenomenal. The service is amazing. One thing with Ama that I love is that chef's table in the back of the ship. That is phenomenal. The food, the service, just watching the chef behind the glass is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, and you'll see that in a minute. And what Andrea is saying is all river cruise ships are very small. Like in this ship, there's 164 people, if I remember right. And so there's one main dining room, and then they have the private dining room called the chef's table. And this is it right here that gives 24 guests an opportunity to go to this dinner. And we will do this as a group. So we've got 20 people already booked. It'll hold up to 24. If we get up to the 30 to 38 people, that will be our maximum that will sell out our group allotment. We'll just divide it up and have 2 special dinners at the chef table for half the group one night and half the group another night. And Andrea and Lynnette will make sure that happens for you. But you're right, Andrea, that 7-course meal, the chef's table, is spectacular, and it is included in the price. It is not extra. So I think that's a big deal. Andrea, the other thing about this ship and most of their ships, they've got French balconies on a lot of cabins. They've also got the double balcony cabins like this. And even though this is in winter, a lot of people like the fact that they can step outside if they want to. And if you don't want the double balcony like we see right here, you can get the balcony where it's the French balcony where the sliding glass doors just open up and you're right at the edge of the ship. You can't go out past the hull of the ship because you go up a lot of locks. And Andrea, isn't that fun going through the locks? I think everybody really enjoys locks.
Oh, we do. The one I did on the Danube, I went with my girlfriend, and I swear, I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I hear this, oh my God. And we get up, or I get up, and she's outside looking at the locks and looking how close we were. I finally had to go to bed at 6. I'm like, we got to get up here pretty quick. But she was so excited about going through the locks. It was kind of fun to see it through her eyes because I've done it before, and she was just excited about it.
Yeah, it truly, especially the first time locks are fabulous. Now here's the main dining room, and as you see, the dining room is just so well appointed. And again, as Andrea said, not only is the culinary part of the experience so wonderful, but the local foods and the local wines and beers, I think, add a lot to it. And
Yep.
the wait staff, though, Andrea, is second to none. Don't you agree?
I agree, and I love the dining option. It's open dining, so I think, what is it, like 6:30 is when they open up the dining, but you can sit wherever you want and with whoever you want, which is a nice little concept. So you can kind of, stay with the people that you really enjoy or that you're traveling with, or mix it up and sit with other people every night.
Yeah, what I love that part of it, and I know you and Lynnette will sit with different people as the week goes on, and but people will make friends with people going on the group. That's one of the fun things to do. That's why a lot of people do hosted groups, to be with like-minded people from
Yep.
usually the same area of the country, and that part is really really fun. But the service, I think everybody will just find tremendous. And again, the lounges. Andrea, let's talk about that very subject you just talked about. During the day, you go out usually in the morning right after breakfast, and you do a tour of wherever the stop is that day. And in most cases, you come back for lunch on the ship, and lunch starts at 12:30 or 1. And you can have a light lunch up here in the lounge, or you can have a full a la carte menu downstairs in the main dining room. This is on the lounge on the third floor.
Right.
And at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock, they do the AMA happy hour. And AMA actually calls it sip and sail. I call it the AMA happy hour, where everything from the bar, including spirits, are included. And the first half of the hour, usually the cruise manager allows everybody just to catch up with each other, make new friends, share what they did during the day, that sort of thing. And then the second half of the hour, 6:30 to 7, the cruise manager will talk about all the options of tours that you can do the next day. And Andrea, the other thing, tell me when Lynnette gets there so I can address Lynnette too. But
Okay.
the other thing I love about this is, AMA asks you to try to make decisions ahead of time, but you don't have to. And you can change once you get on board. If you hear the cruise manager talking about a tour that you think you'd rather do the next day than what you signed up for, you most certainly can do that.
That's one thing I love, Mark, that they're so flexible with the tours, and and what I like too is they have the gentle walking tour. So if you want to not go at a fast pace, you want to do more leisurely, they've got groups for that, and the groups are small. Or if you want to be a little more adventurous and a little bit more faster pace, I guess you would call it, they have those tours as well. I always like the slower pace because I like taking lots of pictures of where I go, and I don't want to be rushed. So I like that concept.
Yeah, I do too, Andrea. And there's a lot of times I remember when I had my hip surgery, I went on a river cruise, I don't know, 3-4 months after the surgery. And I ended up doing all the gentle walkers also, just because I was a little slower at that time. And honestly, it was spectacular. It was so good. The other kind of tours they offer that I like a lot are the ones that go out at 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. I can get an extra hour's worth of sleep. So the lounge is where a lot of people will meet right here. And by the way, while we're cruising during the day or even at night, almost everybody, or after dinner, will come up here in the lounge, and that's where entertainment will be. And they do have a pianist that will play songs, and you can dance to or whatever. There is local entertainment on board. I'll show you some of that. But before I do, let's talk a little bit about this itinerary. I love the itinerary. I've done the Rhine, I think 2 or 3 times, and it truly is special. I see why it's the #1. More people cruise the Rhine than any other river. And in this case, we are starting in Basel, which is Switzerland, right there on the border of France and Germany. So we'll go through all this, but a lot of times people will want to go in early, and I strongly recommend that. I know Andrea and Lynnette recommend it too. And
Oh, yes.
just south of Basel is Lake Lucerne, which is absolutely breathtaking. And by the way, those lake areas are gorgeous, gorgeous at winter time. So just keep in mind, it's my recommendation, Lake Lucerne would be a fabulous place to start your vacation off. And you can fly into Zurich or you can fly into Basel. They both have international airports there. And then you go up north on the Rhine all the way through the towns that we're going to show you here in just a minute, all the way up to Amsterdam. So you hit 4 countries in one cruise. If you're a country counter, you get 4 of them in this one. And Andrea, that's a picture, obviously during the springtime or summer of Basel, but it's a beautiful town, a lot of history. In all these towns, there's so much history, and so many of the, I call it Bavarian style houses that you see, as well as mansions and castles and fortresses. But the biggest part of this will be the Christmas markets. That's what people go for, and they are so much fun. And honestly, it just adds so much to the river cruise experience, because Europeans, like I say, they embrace these Christmas markets, and there is so much fun. They will have food there. They will have shopping, lots of opportunities for that glühwein, that hot spiced wine that is so good, as well as other things too. So,
Oh, yeah. It's
they're
very magical with all the lights and the little vendors that are there. And when I did the Danube, we even had some snow. It wasn't heavy snow, it's just light snow, and it was awesome. I have no other words but awesome. And Christmas is my favorite time of the year anyway, so I love this.
And it is for a lot of people. A lot of people will go there and do their Christmas shopping. And how cool is it to get somebody something from Europe? I think that's pretty neat. And of course,
Yep.
the Europeans they know that people are there to shop, and they have all sorts of really fun handmade. They do not import things from China. That's handmade stuff that you will enjoy thoroughly. So again, the Christmas markets, that's a great picture right here in Basel. As we go north on the Rhine up to Breisig, Germany, and again, remember, we'll go through Germany and France, sometimes are literally on one side of the river or not, but all of these places we stop have 800 to 3,000 or 4,000 years of history. So they're, I mean, the history here is just spectacular. So if you're into history, that's one of the things that you're going to love a lot. And if, like Mimi and I, Mimi loves those Christmas markets. I'm fine with that too, as long as I get to do my stuff to see the highlights of that city that we're in, or the port that we're in, or the village that we're in. Here's a good shot at some of these little markets. They're just these, I call them almost pop-up little markets, but they're little markets with somebody specializing in stuffed animals, like you see there. Maybe somebody on the right specializing in local winter clothing, whether it's scarves or headgear or gloves or things like that. Then somebody will have the specialty food of the area. Somebody else will have glühwein and hot chocolate and you know, other things to drink. So it's just so much fun. Now, Strasbourg is always one of everybody's favorites. And Andrea, I love just the story of this, because this is on the border, like I say, of Germany. And over the centuries, Strasbourg has been, the people who live in Strasbourg have been German citizens, and then French citizens, then German citizens, and then French citizens. And so there's a lot of history there. But isn't that fun, Andrea, to see that the town lit up and the streets lit up like that?
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
I
These
know
pictures don't do it justice.
Andrea, Lynnette, and I did a walk through this before we got on live, and Andrea says, "Oh, I'm getting so excited about this just watching these pictures." It's easy to do because it's so much fun, isn't it, Andrea?
Oh yeah.
And there, look at how they decorated that tree. And I do hope when you get a little bit of snow, it just is wonderful. And the thing about Europe is it's not a wet and a cold or a biting snow or cold like we get here a lot of times because there's less humidity. So again, that's one reason why people embrace it so much. Look at the little gingerbread house or that Bavarian type house right to the right of the tree. Then all those are the back of the markets that you see right there by the tree. I have not been to this town, but a lot of times Ama will stop at a place like this, and there might be 3 or 4 cities or villages around the area to see, but there's always something very famous and very special at every stop that you go. I love the angle of this shop, Andrea, that you can just see all the little things that you just want to buy and try right then and there, don't you?
Oh yeah, the pastries are amazing over there. And one of the little booths that they have at all of these markets that I love, Mark, and you're going to laugh at me because I like bread, but they make homemade bread over like coals. And one thing about Ama that I love is that you can find, like if you find your favorite wine or beer or the breads that I like, you can take it back on the cruise, on the ship, and take it to your cabin and consume it there. They don't have to hold it in an area, and then you get it at the end of the cruise. Hi, Lynnette.
Hi there.
Lynnette's here. So
Lynnette,
the bread is amazing. It's got the cinnamon and sugar, and that's my snack throughout the cruise. I have to get a couple of them. So.
And Andrea, I had never seen chestnuts roasting on an open fire till I went to one of these Christmas markets. And chestnuts roasting on an open fire are everywhere. And hey, Lynnette, welcome, by the way. And have you been to a river market experience, Lynnette?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you been to a Christmas markets?
I have. I actually have taken this cruise before.
So
It was
you
probably about 7 years ago, but
the experienced veteran. What was your experience of the Christmas markets?
I loved the way everything was decorated. It was just magical to walk through the streets and see all the decorations.
I mean,
magical, Mark. That's the word, magical.
Magical is a good word. Magical is a great word. It's something so totally unique. I mean, I have done the Rhine River before, and then I did the Rhine River just like the Danube at a Christmas markets time, and it seemed like a whole different part of the world than where I was when I did it in fall. So yeah, there's just so much there. Rudesheim is one of the favorite places everybody that goes on a Rhine River cruise stops at. It's just so scenic, so beautiful, so historic. Everything about it is good. And Andrea, tell everybody what, or maybe I should ask Lynnette. Lynnette, what do you think they're drinking in those cups?
It is the Rudesheimer coffee.
It is the Rudesheimer coffee. And Andrea,
and I'm getting me one.
You look so forward to having that, don't you?
I do. You know, it was so funny when I went the first time and had the coffee. I'm not a real coffee drinker, but man, they put a little something in it with a little chocolate drizzle over it. It was delicious.
Yeah. And
so I'm ready for it.
Foam on the top, and Andrea, yeah, they put antifreeze in it, Andrea, to help keep you warm.
Keep you warm, that's right.
That's why that girl's smiling so much. When you go down the Rhine Gorge, I want you to look at the castle on the left. Obviously, the scenery will be not like this. This was taken in probably October, but the picture, the scenery of the mountains and of the castles or the fortresses that you see everywhere you go. There's a, I can't remember exactly, I think it's 22-mile stretch that you see 27 castles, and that's all during this Rhine Gorge scenic cruising. It is just a breathtaking day. And by the way, that's a day that you'll be cruising during the day, and Ama will bring you out Rudesheimer coffee and other, as I would call it, antifreeze to help keep you warm if you're up on the top sun deck. So that's a beautiful one. Andrea, isn't that Rhine Gorge? And Lynnette, you remember that too, that Rhine Gorge, absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous. You got castles on both sides as you're cruising. And the cruise manager's talking about the castles, the history of it, what we're seeing, who owns it or lives there or takes care of it. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, Howell, it is. You're right. It's I call it the Hatfields and McCoys, and it was just like this castle right here that just pop up from the forest and the trees. You see them everywhere, and it's again, that to me, this is magical. This is so exciting. This is history at its finest, you know. So there's so much. And Lynnette, did you go to Heidelberg when you were there last time?
I did. I loved the castle and just hearing about the history.
Yeah, wasn't it one of your favorite? It was me anyway. I was just shocked at how spectacular the
Yes.
castle, the fortress, the city, that whole area, the wall they built around the city that the fortress sits on top of.
Right, and just the setting, you know, along the river there it's just such a pretty setting.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, it's a must-see destination. Again, remember, if you've not been on a river cruise, those of you watching right now, you'll have chances to do lots of different things. So that's where our service comes in. We can help you with what the options are, and then you make decisions based on whether you like history, whether you like culture, whether you like scenery, whatever it might be. Culinary part of it too. There's a good picture from the river of the Heidelberg Castle. Isn't that just spectacular? And you see the walls all the way around it. Just so much history everywhere. Then you go to Cologne, and I got to tell you, this might be the most impressive cathedral in the world. Arguably, it is to a lot of people. It is to me. And it is just mind-boggling. By the way, this took 600 years to complete this cathedral there. It is absolutely unbelievable, and you will be blown away. There it is, as you see, it's right by the river. And Andrea, that's the other thing. Let me ask you this: isn't river cruising so much fun that you can, you know, even at night, because the ships stay there till late at most of the ports. And so if you want to get off the ship and just walk into town, it's normally a short little walk. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but Mimi and I've done that a lot, and it's just a fun option for people to have if they want it.
It's wonderful to be able to dock right there, and a lot of like Rudenschein and Cologne, you're right there in town. So if there's a tour that you're not really interested in doing, or maybe you've seen enough Christmas markets and you just kind of want to wander and do your thing, you're right there, so you can get out and walk around, and they'll just tell you what time to be back on board before we depart again. But yeah, you're right. Usually they don't leave until we're all going to bed. So
yeah, you know, there's only 20 to 30 miles between each port. So even, gosh, we've had people that have ridden bicycles from one port to the other. So, you know, if you miss it,
not
it's
the winter. You won't see me doing that one.
yeah, well, that's a joke we have here at the office for those people that stay up late and party too much. Don't worry about it. Just start walking or hitchhiking or take an Uber or get a bike and go to the next port. Hey, here we are in one of the most famous cities in the world. And again, many people have been to Amsterdam in times other than the Christmas market times, which is usually Thanksgiving time till the end of the year. But at Christmas time, the canals of Amsterdam are so, Amsterdam just takes on a totally different look and feel during Christmas time than it does any other time of the year. And I just, I love all the canals there. Isn't this a great city? Lynnette, let me ask you that. Don't you like Amsterdam?
I loved Amsterdam. Yeah, we were there the last night of our Christmas market cruise. And Amsterdam also has what they call holiday lights, and they have lighted sculptures in their canals. So you can take a canal tour at night and see all the lighted sculptures.
Oh, which would be perfect. That would be neat. I have not done that. I would love to do that. Yeah, that's cool. And also, as you all know, Amsterdam has some of the most incredible museums any place in the world, with the Rijksmuseum as probably the top museum there, but so many things to do in Amsterdam. And there we go. We're showing more pictures of the AmaCherto and river cruising. You see the dining or the lounge areas on the top deck, if you will, inside with all the windows there. Then the restaurant is one deck below that. There's only 3 decks on the ship, and it's just so easy. People love the fact that river cruises are small and intimate. They love the fact that the accommodations are nice. The dining room is just so quaint and well laid out. The service is so wonderful. And I've forgotten to mention, but I should tell you that Ama also brings on local entertainment throughout the cruise. So you can have local entertainment. There is entertainment, but it's local. They get on, they perform, and then they they hop off. But I've always thought their entertainment was really pretty good. I love the cultural experience of local entertainment and local costumes in a lot of places. And Lynnette, was it kind of fun when you saw the entertainment that AMA had on their ships? Did you enjoy their local entertainment?
I did. It was great. You know, a lot of musical entertainment, and it was just nice to relax in the evening after dinner and go up to the lounge, have a drink, and watch the entertainment.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, one night we actually were able to decorate the Christmas trees on the Christmas market cruise, so that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I was going to say that they decorate the ships really well. And then there was one evening where I think he was the cruise manager dressed up as Santa, and the staff all came into the lounge, and they were all singing Christmas songs in, you know, their language, and they got everybody involved. It was a lot of fun, and they get you involved. And then I had my picture taken with Santa. He kissed me on the cheek. It was awesome, but it's just a fun experience, and it's like a family. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it fun to watch adults act like kids, because everybody acts like kids around Santa Claus, I think.
I sure did act like a kid, so yes.
And there are 3 decks on almost every river cruise ship, especially on the Rhine and the Danube and the rivers of the Europe. With AMA, there will always be the starting deck called the piano deck. That's the lowest deck. And then there's the middle deck called the cello deck, and the third deck up is called the violin deck. And then above that, outdoors, above the violin deck outdoors, is the sun deck, which is totally accessible when you're not going through a lock. But Andrea, you were telling me earlier that you checked before we had this webinar, and that the ship is sold out except for one of those D categories, which is the oranges category on the piano deck. But everything else is sold out, and the Ds that's available are higher priced than the cabins we have that are better quality cabins, right?
Yes, and then our pricing also includes the gratuities and the taxes and fees, where if we were pricing something out, the base fare that you see is not including all that. So we have a really, really good price point. We have about, I think what I said, 8 or 9 rooms still left on our departure. So.
And Andrea, do you know, or Lynnette, do you know, do we have staterooms in most of the categories available? I think the suites are sold out, if I remember right, but do we have most of those categories available?
We do have one suite available, and then we've got a few of the
ABs.
Actually, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, the double balconies, the outside and the inside balcony.
The ABs, if everybody looks at it, that's the like the raspberry colored ones on the cello deck. But anyway, that's what Lynnette and Andrea and all of us can help you find what's available. The point is we're the only ones with cabins and available to you, 8 or 9, whatever it is, I forget. And honestly, our rates are lower than what most people on the ship paid. So that's always a good deal. But the overall experience is really what we care most about is your satisfaction, the value you get for the money you spend. And I will tell you, going with 2 fun and very, very knowledgeable people like Andrea Redding and Lynnette Talge makes it that much more safe, that much more wonderful, that much more just enjoyable, all in all. And one of the things Andrea and Lynnette will do both here at the office, probably right before Thanksgiving time, a week or 2 before Thanksgiving, we'll have what we call a document get together and have everybody that's going meet everybody else and get to know people before you go. I always think that's a good thing. And then we'll take your pictures, we'll put your names on it, we'll give everybody a copy of that. We call that a cheat sheet, so everybody can remember the people they don't know, at least by their face, and then have their names. But I think this is so exciting. And then Andrea and Lynnette will be available, of course, on the cruise ship all the time to answer any questions or help you if you need help with anything.
Absolutely.
Andrea, do we have or Lynnette, either one of you two, do we have a post package in Amsterdam or a pre-package in Basel or Lake Lucerne or Zurich set up too?
We haven't put that together yet, but we are talking about at least going in, I think, 2 days early. We haven't decided on the back end yet. I know I've got some people that are going in and they're kind of doing their thing because they want to go and see several things beforehand and afterwards. So we can cater to your needs. You can be with us if you want. If you don't want to be with us and do your own thing, we can do that as well. But we are planning on going in at least, I think, 2 days early, because flights are unpredictable and we want to make sure we're there. So.
Well, you want to make sure you're there, and you want to make sure your luggage gets there too. So we are big believers in this company to go in early before the trip starts. And by the way, if you have points, we can help you get your airline. You'll have to do it if you've got points, but we can give you the parameters of when to get there and help you with hotels, that sort of thing. But if you need help with air, we can help you with that. If you need help with the pre and post packages, we can help you with that. So basically anything you need, that's what Andrea and Lynnette are here for. And I wanted to also say, we will have a copy of this webinar on our website, and it'll also be on our YouTube page. So you can send anybody you know, maybe you have family around the country or friends around the country that you might want to have join you. Please do. We sell a lot of people outside of the Midwest area, and usually it's because they have somebody that they know going. But yeah, send us referrals. We can help you with that. You can send them the link so they can watch this webinar, or you can call Andrea, or you can call Lynnette at any time. And Lynnette, any last words of wisdom or anything you'd like to hear?
I'm just excited to go on the trip and get to know everybody that's going to be going with us too.
Well, that's always fun. Andrea, do you know what the deposit amount is if people want to go ahead and put a deposit down?
Lynnette?
It is.
Yeah, what is it?
Is it $1,335?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, $1,335 per person.
That's what our flyer says, yes. And then final payment will be, well, the second payment will be May 22nd, then the final payment will be August 21st. So you'll have 3 times to pay this in 3 different increments. So that's good too. Oh, by the way, I think we forgot to tell everybody that the port taxes and fees are included in this too. So that's all good.
Yep.
So anyway, Andrea, any last words of wisdom you'd like to tell everybody?
Please call me, come join us. It's going to be a great time. And I know it's close to Christmas, but we'll be back before Christmas, and you'll have a lot of Christmas gift for your family. It'll be fun. Come join us.
Yeah, and by the way, you can bring an extra bag if you want. You might have to pay for it depending on your airline, or you can just ship home whatever it is that you buy there. But if you want it for Christmas, bring it back with you if you're doing Christmas gifts. Well, Andrea and Lynnette, I got to tell you, and everybody watching, having done this experience before, it is it's just an overall fantastic experience that delivers incredible satisfaction and value for the dollar and value for the experience. The Rhine River is a very special river. That time of the year is incredibly unique and special and fun. So I encourage you all, if you've never done a Christmas markets river cruise, you should do so. And if you've never been on a river cruise, you obviously should do so. You're going to fall in love with it. And if you've not done AmaWaterways, you're going to be very, very happy with AmaWaterways. So on behalf of all of us here, Andrea and Lynnette, say adios to everybody. Or
Bye-bye.
What is it in German or French or Netherlands? Adios is Spanish. Arrivederci. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Call us or check us out online, cruiseholidayskc.com, cruiseholidayskc.com. Our phone number is 816-505-1500. Again, 505-1500. If you're interested in this, we have it's either 8 or 9. I should have checked that out, but it's either 8 or 9 staterooms left, and then it will be long gone. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much, and go Chiefs.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.